Wireless connection.
Good morning, everyone. It is Juyemura with your mortgage tips of the day. It's Tuesday, January 31st. It's 10 a.m. and we are excited to start this whole process of the informative mortgage solution for you to understand the life of a loan. Whether you are a realtor or whether or not you are a buyer, a first-time home buyer, somebody that's never even been in the industry, I am going to help kind of guide you through the whole process. It's basically mortgage tips with Jen, A to Z, home buying process, and we're going to just break everything down. Today we're going to be talking about the topics of what the first step is in getting a home loan and what are the requirements of it. I know it's like, for some of you, it's like, good Lord, it's an act of God to get these loans done. It's so much documentation. It's so overwhelming. There is so many things that, different moving parts, different departments, and it just seems like it's taken forever to get a loan done. But I'm going to help simplify it and walk you through the whole process. Hey Karen, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Miko, it's glad to see you too, honey. I'm super excited to have you all here. So let's just dive right into it. So the life of a loan. The first step of getting a home loan for anybody should be to get a lender. And well, I am Bay Equity and I'm a great lender. You do not have to use me, but I would love it if you did. But you may have a realtor that is a friend that is helping you buy a home, but that realtor is going to have to turn around and get you to a lender regardless. So why not just go ahead and work with the lenders direct? I know it's you want to get pre-approved. You want a letter from a lender that says you are pre-approved to go shopping. There's nothing worse than thinking that you're pre-approved and then finding out in the last minute that you're not. And so what I'd like to do is just talk about that. I want to set the expectations of what you will be expected to provide, and understand that it's of the utmost importance to get everything in at one time and not piecemeal everything. It's so hard to do a home loan, much less having to piecemeal the items to us when we're going through the process of trying to get you pre-approved. So the basic process would be to provide your income and your assets. At least the very minimum, you need 2 years W-2s, you need 2 years of tax returns, 30 days of pay stubs, and 2 months of bank statements. We want to know where you work and how long you've been there. You'll provide a loan application, but the very minimal requirements to get started with a pre-approval process would be to get you those income documents. We want to look at the capability, the credit worthiness, the ability to repay, and the collateral, of course, when it comes time. But let's just act as if you are doing a first-time home buying or you're just purchasing a home, and what will the requirements be? As realtors, it's important to kind of understand this, because if these are your clients and these are your friends and referrals, what a better way to do it if you already empower yourself to know exactly what the lender's going to ask for, and you've already asked some of those questions up front. You're just going to speed up the process in the long run. So we need to have 30 days of pay stubs, and you may ask, well, why is that? If that is you getting paid weekly, then I need 4 pay stubs. If you're bi-weekly, then I need 2 pay stubs. If you're monthly, I need 1 pay stub. But we have to have the 30-day history. We have to have the 2 years tax returns and 2 years W-2s. And in some cases, we may not even use the tax returns, but we want to see up front what you have filed with the IRS. Versus what you are showing on paper. One of the things that I've noticed is that sometimes what we think we filed with the IRS may not actually be what has been given to us. If you have multiple jobs, we'll need those pay stubs too. Being able to calculate income is the most important part of the home buying process, because if you do not have all the documentation or you're missing pieces, maybe the lender doesn't know about everything, maybe you had a job for part-time of the year and you worked part-time there, but you've had a full-time job but you didn't think it was important to provide that part-time pay stub, we're going to need that. If you have child care or foster care income, we're going to want to see that. Social Security income, Any of those aspects will need a history of that. So again, if you've been divorced, if you have alimony payments, if you have child support payments, or maybe you're receiving them, we're going to want full copies of the divorce decree. All of these things we can ask for later, but just know that it is going to be a requirement. And you're requesting that we lend money to you to buy a house of $100,000, multiple $100,000, $500,000, $600,000 homes, typically. So it does require a lot. I know it's overwhelming, but we will hold your hand and we will walk you through the whole process step by step and make it easy for you to understand. Again, my phrase, treat me like a 3-year-old and use a purple crayon. That's what we want to do. So with that being said, we will look at your employment history for 2 years. We need to see that you've been in the same line of work, same field, and we also need to see your 2-year residence history and show whether you've rented or have you owned or did you live with your parents. But we need the loan application. We pull credit, and we just look at the complete package of all of that. Once we've determined where you're at on that, we look at your credit report in regards to judgments and liens, and there may be things on your credit that you don't think are really important to mention to your lender or to your realtor, but full disclosure is the best possibility. We're here to help you package the loan and get it through as smooth as possible. So the more information you tell us up front about your story, the better we can prepare you. It may take longer on the front end to get you a pre-approval, but just know on the back end when you're going to funding, it's going to go like that, and you're going to be so glad that you had a complete package. Again, you don't want to piecemeal, you want to put everything together, and your lender of choice will work with you on that. If I would be so glad if it was me here at Bay Equity. But let's talk about the whole aspect of when you have provided all this and we've ran the numbers, we've looked at your income, we have ran what we call a DU approval. That's a desktop underwriting approval. And it kind of just gives us the outline of any questions that we may need to ask for, down to how many years of tax returns and stuff like that. I always ask for more up front. Whether I need it or not is another thing, but I always ask for more up front because I would rather have too much documentation than not enough. Once we've gone through all that, you have your DU approval and you're ready to go shopping and all the questions have been answered about BKs or foreclosures, loan modifications, and so on and so forth. If you don't have a realtor, then I will package you up with a pretty little red bow and send you off to one of my top 5 realtors that I use, and they can help you go through the process of home buying. We want to set the expectations so that there again is no over-promising and under-delivering, and we'll cover every aspect of the loan so that you and all of your questions can be answered. If any of you guys ever have any questions or would like further information on how this process works, then feel free to reach out to me. Always message me here, you can call me. But the overall process is that once you get the realtor will then set you down and have your expectations set and all of your questions answered down to the home buying process from their end. They are the professionals. These realtors know what they're doing, but when you have a lender and a realtor that work well together, then it's going to make the process that much smoother. We will dissect every segment of the income and break down exactly how the W-2s and tax returns look and the pay stubs look. But for right now, over the next few days, Thursday, we'll be going back at 10 a.m. and I will go through the next step of what happens once you get a realtor and once you start looking for homes. And then we'll cover down to the appraisal, the home inspection, and things that you need to look for. How the collateral is just as important as the creditworthiness and your ability to repay the loan. You want to make sure that that collateral that you are getting is going to pass the lender's requirements as well. Again, it's a lot of information. We'll cover everything as we go, but we will also show you how the calculation of income works. When it comes to the overall deal, I look at your credit, I look at your income, your employment, and your residency history. I look at the credit inquiries that you've had and addresses that have reported on your credit report. It's important for me to know that there's no undisclosed properties, so we'll ask you to write letters of explanation about derogatory credit. What happened, what caused the issue for you to have the BK or the foreclosure or the loan modification, why your FICO scores were low. Were they medical bills? Did you have a family incident? Were you laid off from work? We'll write a story. You want to tell your story so that there is under no circumstances that we wouldn't know what the issue was. Again, the more upfront we are, the better prepared we are. But other than that, let's just work together. I will meet you guys back here at 10 a.m. on Thursday, this coming Thursday. These are going to be my mortgage tips with Jen every Tuesday and Thursday mornings at 10 a.m. I will be uploading them to Mortgage Tips with Juyemura or Jennifer Uyemura on the YouTube channel, so you can always come back and refer to these. If you have a question or you would like me to start looking at some possibilities of pre-qualifying you, or maybe even helping you with your credit scores and trying to help you increase your FICO score, then let me know as well. We help with all different areas. But I can be reached at 714-618-5380. Again, that's 714-618-5380. I am on Facebook and Instagram and the YouTube channel. Just type in Jennifer Uyemura, Mortgage Tips, and we'll help you out there. I hope this was informative information. I hope it was helpful. And please continue to stay with me as we move through the series of training and just helping empower you and the realtors to do well. So, juyemura@bayeck.com, and this is Bay Equity Home Loans signing off. Thanks so much for joining. Have a great day.